Boatworks Today is sponsored by Total Boat and Alexseal Yacht Coatings, as well as supported by the generosity from the beautiful folks over on Patreon. Thank you so much. All right, now, do I really want to be making this video? Nope, not at all. But I do think there are a few things I need to explain. So, welcome back to the shop, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. My name is Andy with Boatworks Today, and this week should be the last of the non-boat related type videos. Finally. Now, before I get into those details, I want to mention that next week is the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, and that runs from Thursday the 26th through Sunday the 29th. And I will be there. I'll be attending in the Alexseal booth. It's booth 824. It's in the Super Yacht tent. Now, if you're going to be attending, stop by. I've never been to this show. I have no idea what to expect. But if we're in the Super Yacht tent, I'm guessing it might be a little obscene, but obscene in kind of a fun way. But anyways, if you're going to be attending, stop by the booth and say hi. If it's later in the day, maybe we can go catch a beer, or maybe you can go catch a beer. I can't really do that anymore. Maybe that's another topic for another time. No, it's not what you think. But either way, I hope to see as many of you there as possible. So with that out of the way, I'm just going to jump right into it and say that normal boat related content is going to be coming back on a regular basis starting in November, providing I don't do something stupid and put myself in the emergency room. Now, I got to touch on something that I haven't talked about in quite a while, and that's coming up on my shoulders. Now, obviously, that has been the elephant in the room as far as why I haven't been able to do my normal, my normal stuff, right? For those of you that don't know, now several years, we're going back, I don't know, 8, 9 years ago now, I tore my shoulder and bicep on my left. And then last year, actually a year and 2 months ago, I tore my other shoulder, and I suspect my bicep as well. Now, I have yet to be able to get in and have an MRI done. This has been a whole pissing match with the insurance company. Thank you, Blue Cross Blue Shield. You're special. But I will say, so finally, after over a year, I finally got approval to actually go in and start PT, or physical therapy. Now, evidently that is the hoop or the hurdle that you need to jump through in order to then go to the next step, which is going to be for an MRI. So now, while my doctor and we both fully understand that the PT is essentially a waste of time. It's not going to fix anything. But if it opens the door for me to be able to get in and get the MRI done, it's progress. It's been progress that hasn't been able to be made in the last 12 months. So it's not much of a win, but a win is a win, and I'll take it. So now, if all goes as anticipated, my hope is that I'll be able to get the 12 sessions of PT knocked out in November, and then in December, get scheduled for an MRI and get that taken care of. And then we'll know, at least we'll confirm what I already know. And then and then schedule surgery for sometime in the spring, preferably sometime after Memorial Day. Now, I have no idea which shoulder the doctor's going to want to look at. This one's been ongoing for several years. This one's been a year, but it's my dominant hand. I don't know. That's going to be a question that he's going to have to answer for me. But finally, it's. I don't think you quite understand how frustrating all of this has been. I mean, I'm sure it's been frustrating for you with the fluff content that I've been putting out. But that is not by choice. That is just by limitation. So now the reality is I just need to get through the next 7 months without doing myself in. And that ties directly into scheduling, specifically scheduling that is going to be sustainable. Now, the way that I have it planned right now is starting in November and going forward. The goal is to be able to put out new content, new boating related content, every other week instead of every week. Now, the reason for that is that obviously I'm going to be moving slower. I can't maintain the same pace that I used to be able to do, before all this. And the reality is, just in the matter of a week, I don't think I'm going to be able to make enough progress to be able to put some type of content together that's going to be not only interesting, but also helpful. Now, if I can span that out over 2 weeks, I think that's going to be a lot more manageable. And the overall picture is that if I can get through, these next 7 months, again, putting things out every other week. Now, if I can hopefully bank up some material so that come summertime, post-surgery, when I'm going to be, laid up for 3 or 4 months, hopefully that's all it is, I'll have enough material banked up so that I can still release stuff on a regular basis throughout the summer. And then come fall time, essentially it's going to be a rinse and repeat. I can't have surgery on either arm in the fall time because, well, one, I am not going to risk taking a fall and slipping and then jacking up my shoulder after it just got worked on. That does not sound like fun at all. But specifically, I need to be able to run the tractor and maintain the snow. You know, you may think that sounds kind of stupid, but we got almost 25 feet of snow last year, and I changed the oil on the tractor here a couple of weeks ago. I had just under 100 hours last year alone blowing snow, just to kind of put things into perspective. And if I can't do it, no one in the house can. Well, I should say, maybe I should put it, I don't trust anybody else in the house to drive my rig in the wintertime, because it is a little sketchy. We're on some pretty steep hills, and if you go 1 foot over too far, over you go. Not good. So now, am I a little bummed on how this past year has played out? Yeah, that would be understatement of the year. But on the other hand, it is what it is. I tried to make the best of what I had to work with, and that's all I can do. Now, the next 7 months, in reality, isn't going to be any different than this past year, with the exception that now there's a plan, there's a path forward here. I just need to get through these next 7 months, go through the hoops, and hopefully, come springtime, then at least half of my problem will be able to be put in its box and then put behind me. Now, switching gears, the last thing I want to talk about is going to be regarding Alexseal paint orders. Now, I ship out all of my orders every Monday morning. Now, with next week being, I'm gone pretty much all week, and then I don't get back until mid-afternoon on that Monday the 30th, obviously nothing's going out that Monday. So between now and then, if you find yourself where you're running low on something, you've been kind of sitting on the idea of ordering something, you're like, I'm ready to pull the trigger. If you place your order between now and the 25th, which is the Wednesday that I leave, if you place your order, I'll make sure that it gets sent out. So I'll be packing orders on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And depending on where you're at in the US, you should see it somewhere either on like a Friday or on Saturday at the latest. Again, unless you're going all the way the hell down to Key West. That's a little bit different story. But most everybody else here in the US, you should see it, if it ships out on Wednesday at the latest, you should see it on that Friday or Saturday. So now with all that said, I'm just going to wrap this up because I don't want to drag this out any more than it needs to. But I did want to put this information out there just to let you all know what you can anticipate and expect in the coming weeks and the coming months, again, starting in November. That's all I have for this video. I hope to see you in Lauderdale, and if not, I will see you back up on the Birch Room in November 10th if you're on Patreon. Otherwise, it'll be November 12th here on YouTube. So until then, take care of yourself, and I'll see you then.
This has been a Boatworks Today production.